Welcome to this lecture on metric spaces. Today we are going to explore the concept of connected subsets on the real number line. Understanding this topic is crucial because it forms the foundation for continuous functions and real-world physics. Let us dive in and see what it means for a space to be truly unbroken. Now that we know our topic, let us understand what connectedness actually means. Imagine holding a single solid piece of string. If you cut it with scissors, you no longer have one piece, you have two disconnected pieces. In the mathematical world of the real number line, denoted as R, connectedness works exactly the same way. A subset is connected if it is one solid, unbroken segment. If even a single number is missing or skipped, it acts like those scissors, splitting the collection into separate parts and making the set disconnected. To formalize this idea of an unbroken string, we use the mathematical concept of an interval. The core theorem states that a subset of the real line is connected if and only if it is an interval. Here is the strict mathematical definition. The formula tells us that if you pick any two numbers, x and y, inside your set E, then every single number z that falls strictly between them must also be in the set. If this rule holds true for every possible choice, the set is an interval. If z increases or decreases but stays between x and y, it must never fall outside the set. Before we prove the main theorem, let us see this definition in action with a concrete example. Consider the set of all non-zero real numbers. We write this mathematically as E equals R minus the set containing 0. The symbol R represents all real numbers, and the backslash means we are excluding whatever follows it. In this case, we are throwing away exactly one number, 0. So our set E contains every positive number and every negative number, but it has a tiny pinhole right at the origin. Let us test if this set is connected. We are given the set of all non-zero real numbers, and we need to determine if it is connected. To do this, we do not need complex algebra. We just check if it satisfies our interval definition. Our strategy is to pick two numbers definitely inside our set and look for a number between them. Let us choose a negative number, -1, and a positive number, +1. Both of these numbers are safely inside our set E. Continuing with our test, we now look at the space between -1 and +1. The number 0 sits strictly between them. However, based on our very definition of the set E, the number 0 is explicitly excluded. Because we found two numbers in the set, but a number between them is missing, the set fails the definition of an interval. This missing 0 acts exactly like a scissor cut, separating the negative numbers from the positive numbers. Therefore, the set is disconnected. Let us look at a slightly more abstract example. Consider the set of all rational numbers, denoted by Q. These are numbers that can be written as simple fractions. At first glance, they are packed very tightly together, so they might look like a solid piece. To test this, we set up our interval check again. We pick two rational numbers, 1 and 2. Then we look at the square root of 2, which is approximately 1.414, placing it perfectly between them. We want to see if the set of rational numbers forms a connected interval. We have selected the rational numbers 1 and 2. We know that the square root of 2 sits strictly between them. The critical question we must ask is whether this intermediate value, the square root of 2, is also a rational number. If it is not, we have found a gap in our supposedly solid set. Continuing our evaluation, we rely on a well-known mathematical fact. The square root of 2 is an irrational number. It cannot be written as a simple fraction. Therefore, it is not an element of Q. Because we have two numbers in our set, but a number between them is missing, the set of rational numbers is not an interval. In fact, between any two rational numbers, there are infinitely many missing irrational numbers. The set is completely shattered and highly disconnected. To solidify what we have just seen in our examples, let us look at this diagram. The top line represents a true interval. Notice how it is solid and unbroken. Any point z you pick between the ends A and B is safely inside the blue line. This is a connected set. Now look at the bottom line. A single point z has been removed, leaving an open hole. That single missing point acts as a barrier, splitting the set into two isolated islands, labeled A and B. Because of that one missing point, the entire bottom set is disconnected. Now that we have seen examples and a diagram, we are ready to prove our main theorem. We will do this in two halves, step by step. First, we prove that if a set is connected, it must be an interval. We will use a technique called proof by contradiction. We assume our set E is connected, but we assume it is not an interval. Because it is not an interval, there must be two numbers x and y in our set and some number z between them that is completely missing from our set. This missing number z will act exactly like the scissors cutting our string, allowing us to break the set apart. Continuing our proof, we use that missing number z to break our set apart. We create two completely separate groups. All the numbers in E that are less than z and all the numbers in E that are greater than z. Mathematically, we write this using intersections and unions. The first part intersects E with everything from negative infinity up to z. The second part intersects E with everything from z to positive infinity. Because z itself is missing, every single number in E must fall into exactly one of these two halves, leaving nothing behind. This equation perfectly describes how the gap divides the space. This brings us to the final result of our first half. By splitting the set, we have created what mathematicians call a separation, a way to split a set into two non-empty, non-overlapping open pieces. But wait, our very first assumption was that E is a connected set. By definition, a connected set cannot have a separation. This is a logical disaster, which proves our initial assumption was completely wrong. Therefore, we can confidently conclude that a connected set absolutely must be an interval. The first half of our theorem is now proven. We will now move on to the reverse direction. So we have proven the first direction. This brings us to the second half, proving that if a set is an interval, it must be connected. Again, we will assume the opposite to find a contradiction. Let us assume we have an interval E, but it is disconnected. This means E can be split into two non-empty, non-overlapping open sets, which we will call A and B. Because they are not empty, we can pick a number A from set A and a number B from set B, and we assume A is less than B. We will use these points to find a contradiction. Continuing with our setup, imagine walking along the number line from A towards B. You start inside set A, but you must eventually leave it to enter set B. We need to find the exact boundary point where this transition happens. We do this by finding the supremum or the tightest possible ceiling of all numbers in set A that are less than B. We call this exact boundary point P. Because E is an interval and P is trapped between A and B, the number P must belong to our interval E. This sets up our final logical trap. This brings us to the final contradiction of our proof. Since P is in E, it must live in either set A or set B. However, both are open sets, which are like rooms without walls. If P is in A, we can move a tiny bit to the right and still be in A, meaning P was not the true upper boundary. If P is in B, we can move a tiny bit to the left and still be in B, meaning P was not the tightest ceiling for A. Both choices are mathematically impossible. This contradiction proves that an interval cannot be split into two open sets. Therefore, every interval is connected. Now that we have proven the mathematics, let us understand why this matters in the real world. Connected subsets form the foundation of the intermediate value theorem in physics and engineering. This theorem states that a continuous process must pass through every single value between its start and end. For example, if you accelerate a car from 0 to 60 miles per hour, your speed must hit exactly 30 miles per hour at some moment. You cannot teleport past it. This physical reality is mathematically guaranteed only because intervals on the real number line are perfectly connected, with absolutely no gaps. Let us summarize the key takeaways from our lecture. The concept of connectedness on the real number line is beautifully simple. A subset is connected if and only if it is an interval. This means it is a solid, unbroken segment. If a set has even a single missing point between its elements, it is broken into separate pieces and becomes disconnected. Whether it is a simple missing zero or infinitely many missing irrational numbers, the rule remains exactly the same. No gaps are allowed. You now have a solid understanding of connected subsets.